Yeah, we live.
Yeah.
We live.
You know, King Sweetkid.
What's good, my good man? I've been waiting for this for a while. I remember the last time I emailed you, you were like, nah, you need to get your following up.
I guess if you can't get it, you must fetch it.
I must fetch it. So I was like, you know what, let me fetch the good man and put him on my platform. At least, you know, that's something to put in the books, you know.
Hey man, nothing wrong with that. You know,
Yeah.
they say there's many ways to skin the cat. You know what I mean?
And this is one of them.
You know? So man, firstly, you working on your 9-track EP, LP. Why are you calling it an LP, not an EP or an album? Why is this?
I feel like, you know, an LP, obviously from my definition, is something that is, you know, long enough to be an album, but short enough to be an EP also. Yeah. And I had quite a lot of tracks on the project, but I feel like I like being concise. You know, I like getting to the point and, you know, you hearing what I have to say and then it being done. All of my projects have been very, very short. And I'm gonna probably keep it that way for a while because it's the winning formula.
Yeah.
But long play because I felt like it's one or two element missing of being an album.
Yeah.
But it's more than an EP.
Yeah.
You know, so I just had to package it very smartly, and I think long play does it very well.
Alright, I got you. So in the joint, you know, you've I was interested to find out how many tracks you had working because, I mean, from the tracks that I've heard, everything like musically sounds right, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's very song heavy. 100%. You know, it's not like a rapper's album, you know. It's very song heavy. There sounds like there's a lot of time that's been put in making the songs, you know.
Yes.
How many songs did you have across the board before you kind of settled to 9 joints?
I think I had like 22 or 23.
Yeah.
You know, basically I had 2 projects if I cut it down.
Yeah.
I had 23, 20 something, and then obviously some of them were lost, you know, because, you know, throughout making the process of music, somehow something has to go wrong, something has to get lost.
Yeah.
Besides the tracks that were lost, I think we were at 23, and then I just felt like, you know, from that 23 there has to be like the best of the best, you know. And I cut it down to the best of the best, and I feel like these are the songs that kind of show or elaborate where I am right now in the space of time. You know, I'm happy with the growth. Listening to the project that I released, my last project, and listening to the project now, I'm like, hey bro, is this you? You know, because it's remarkable growth. You know, I'm listening to my songs now and I'm like, oh, bro, at least now you can listen to yourself without cringing. You know? Because I think my biggest thing was I knew that I was right there, but I was not there. You know, when you still listen to your music and you cringe a bit and you're like, ish, but what could have been better, or what should I have changed somehow? But now I'm like super happy with the product, you know. I packaged it well, you know, and I feel like it's a dope playlist. You know?
I mean, when you say that, when you look where you come from, where you are, maybe like a bit of where you come from, you know, where do you come from? What inspired this rap thing for you just to pursue it so aggressively? Because you haven't been passive in your pursuing of this rap thing.
I've just been putting in work. And one thing about me, I'm glad that you brought it up. I'm not passive. You know, I'm not a person that likes to be in your face and tell you that, you know, dog, I'm gonna blow up. You know, I like you finding out that, oh, damn, all this time he has been working and he blew up. You know, I find it very rewarding to reward myself. So with this project, or with rap entirely, it was just a matter of, you know, I fell in love with music so bad, you know, it's not even funny because the first South African rap song, because I thought rappers only existed in America. You know, when I got to hear Tear Gas Chance, I was like, man, what the hell is this? You know? And right about the same time, I find out that there's a guy in my hood that actually raps for Skwatta Camp. I'm like, yo, we have balls out there. You know, I'm sure you could tell you a funny story. There was a time where I was going to Boza's house, you know, and just giving him CDs. And I'm like, yo, man, just please listen to this, and then, you know, let me know if it's dope, and you know, put me on. And a few years down the line, I was with the Khotman. No, he was at my show, the Sugar Season show. I don't know what maybe it was a mistake. But he was there, and he's like, yo, boy, I'm so proud of you, man. If you need anything, holla, cause I know you came to me. You used to say Ndwana, used to say light, and you're like, yo, and I was like, Lentwana le mare, yo pele up, and look at you now, you know, hosting a show. So you know, it's I just fell in love with rap so much. I fell in love with the lifestyle. As soon as I found out that it was close and it's possible, like I had someone in my hood actually doing this, and there's rappers in South Africa. There's people that now sag their pants, and it's okay to be nigga. You know? And after that, I kind of ran with it, you know. I've been rapping for a while, you know. I, like you say, I'm not passive about it, but I was there in the season scoop days. You know? I was there when shizness was still shizness. I was there when rappers still rap. You know? I was looking at Amakhod Man on TV, going, damn, man, I can't wait to live this life. You know, but we here, we live.
How do you creatively grow? You know, from what you're gonna say and what you're writing today to like around those times during the season scoop era, the shizness era. I mean, when you grab a pen and you're about to write, is it like what's the thought process now? You know, because obviously whatever you are writing then and whatever you're writing now is totally different. You know, is it correct to also say that like you were almost like looking outside when you were younger, and right now as you get older, you're actually looking inside to kind of create the music?
I guess so, because I mean back then writing was simple. You know, when I mean simple, I could just pick up a pen and just write about anything and everything that makes sense. You know, not something that I'm living, not something that I feel, you know, something that I think is okay to say in my position, you know. So writing back then, I was very naive, you know. I'd write about a lot of things. Some of them would make sense and some of them wouldn't. You know? But now it's much more harder to write, because I can't just pick up my phone and go, okay, cool, this beat, now I'm gonna just yap, you know. Now the thought process is much more harder. Even releasing music now is much more harder, you know. Even creating music is much more harder, because now there's just a lot at stake, you know. Now I there's this quote, there's ugwazi nje ukuzimosha, you know, like knowing is just is too much, you know.
And I guess the English reverse of it is ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss, you know. When you don't know, you just kind of run with it. So looking at my first two projects, which is the Sugar Season 1 and the Sugar Season 2, 100% I was just running with things, you know. I was just trying to find the right thing to do, you know. And I was just talking about things that I just talkable at that time. But I understand at that time, because I got into a position where as soon as Questa started, you know, vibing with the boy, and I was touring with him for the Ngutu tour and the Vote No Maini tour, you know, and I thought that I was Benekant, you know. That also changed my writing, you know. I was writing from a person who's like, nigga, do you know who I'm chilling with? You know, from oh man, I'm gonna make it to nigga, I'm chilling with Senzo now, you know. I'm calling him by his first name, Senzo. You know. And then that changed from him being there to him not being there, to going back to the same old, you know. Now you need to prove yourself again, you know. So it's been different phrases, but definitely the one I enjoyed the most was the Sugar Season 3, you know, because I feel like if it wasn't for the Sugar Season 3, which was the last project before this one, I wouldn't have grown so much because out of all the projects, that is the project I can look back and play. You know, even though there's few songs that I would change there, I say, okay, cool, this song was unnecessary, and this song was unnecessary. But now I'm writing from a place of privilege. Now I know better. You know, I know what I think sounds good, other than what I used to compare to say, okay, cool, if Lil Wayne can do this, then it sounds good. If this guy can do this, then it sounds good. If it doesn't sound like, but now I know, okay, cool, you have a trail that you left, you know what sounds good, you know what doesn't sound good with your voice, so you know yourself better, so now it's easier to just, you know, maneuver through everything.
It kind of sounds like it's layered like an onion, you know. When you're in the shizness, you still like the onion, like with all the wrapping, and you know you grow a bit from that, and you take out one layer, and every step of growth is like a layer, but like everything is leading to self, right? It's leading to the center, 100%. You know, and it's almost like all your projects have just been layers that have been leading you to the center, and this project is the center, right?
Yes.
Now, when you kind of get to the center, it literally then, because it started as an onion, the center then becomes a seed that literally like starts creating layers of something else.
Yes.
You know, whether it's success and what comes with success and what inspires the success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I know obviously what it takes to. I mean, if you're from Heidelberg, I'm from Leondale, which is closer. I know what it takes to physically move yourself to a place like this in the north. Mentally feel like it's the right thing to do. Force yourself to make your mind believe it's the right thing to do, you know, and then literally like have the faith of, I don't know if anything's going to happen from it. I mean, those are the layers. That's the beginning of getting to the center, because you know your previous albums would have never you would have never brought yourself here.
Yes.
So do you see that, like, you've got to your center, and like now you almost like I'd say like slightly exploding what the center. Now you've created the product, which is the seed, and this is the first step of it, you know, like that now grows. You are starting to create whatever the King Sweetkid fruit is, or onion is, you know what I mean? Just tell me about that journey of uncertainty, obviously, that journey of getting up from Heidelberg and saying, I'm gonna actually invest time, invest money, like invest my mind to believe this, you know. Just tell me about just like the psyching, how you need to psych yourself up to get to this point. It was mentally exhausting, you know. I don't get to tell my story much, but I think this is the right time to tell my story, you know. I left Heidelberg with a friend of mine. You know, I lied to my parents and said I'm going to school, you know. I was going to school, but I only lasted for 2 weeks, you know. Left. I forced my dad. I was like, yo, we fought. As soon as I got my certificate, my matric certificate, I told him, I was like, bro, I need to leave. Ratanda, meaning like, my dad is like, okay, cool, but there's no money. You know, like, I remember my dad telling me, he says, imagine varsity. He's like, I'm budget 5,000 paid. How you pay school and rental with 5,000? You know, and I just forced him. I was like, yo, bro, I don't care where we gonna get the money, but I need to leave, you know. And on the last day, I didn't speak to my dad for like 2 weeks left, and I told him, I was like, I found a place, and I need you to at least just help me pack my stuff so I can go, you know. Packed my stuff, convinced a friend of mine that, dog, you need to also go to school. You know, homie wasn't having it, he wasn't trying to go to school. But I was like, yo, bro, you need to go to school. I went and had meetings with his parents. I was like, Mama, you know, I already have a school for us, so let's vibe. We left, my dad gave me $50. $50 that was supposed to last me for like a good month, you know.
and it's been a ride, man. I've gotten so hungry in Bram. I was living in Bram in a place called Paris Court. I've gotten so hungry that I had to, go outside, look, and see who can, do something. At the time I was so hungry, dog. I went to go. I found a Mapoy Sanyana. They just chilling there, and I went and I lied to them. I was like, yo guys, I just and I lost my wallet, I lost everything. Can you guys just give me $50 so I can get home? That time I just want at least 10 rand to smoke, 10 rand for chips there and bread. I'll figure out how things happen tomorrow. But it's been emotionally like straining. Like I come from Foko, I've showed up to shows hungry, still do. But that's the way it goes. Because now at least I'm mentally better. Now I know that, okay, cool. This is for a cause. Unlike me being blind to it and saying, oh man, one day I'm gonna get signed. And I'm gonna be telling my story. Instead, I'm just like, dude, this is part of the process now. So it's been a hell of a ride. There's so many stories to tell, and I believe that my stories are. They're interesting, I even have a story of Skwatta. I don't even know if you remember this, but I was a youngin. I don't know if you remember Put Philip, Boza's uncle. Yeah. This other time he was like, you know what? Let me just take this boy on a ride. He used to date my mom, So he took me on a ride with you guys. You guys were performing at Karanko. I remember that night. I won't forget it. I was in the microbus with you guys. And you pulled up in the white Beamer. I remember at that time you were still dating Osis Queen B. I remember at that time. And you were the only one that pulled up alone. The guys we fetched everyone, And I'm like, why? Should lay balls alemos. Why nafika ngebhima? The other guys is balanding. I remember we fetched everyone, bro. I remember there was an incident. I don't know who, but someone was drunk and then they were breaking on my ice in the middle of the road. I don't even. You guys don't even remember that, but I was like a kid. I even fell asleep after the performance. Cause I remember it was Karankua, guys. I won't forget. That was the first time I heard of a place named Karankua. And I was there was a point where I was watching Nemza talk. He was talking about some lady, that he had, had an altercation with. I was like, yo man, these hot mans are living the life. This is where I want to be. This is real, And man, I went and I fell asleep. I remember I was still in primary. I remember telling my friends that I've been having the Skwatta camp. But unamanga, there's no way. I was like, I was there. And yeah, man, so I have so many stories with everyone in the industry, probably like almost half the industry. I have a Frank Casino story. I have a Rick story. I have almost everyone, so it's about time that things just unfold. And I'm just happy that with this project, I get to, creatively do my thing, so that it can reach the ears that it's supposed to reach at the right time, so that by the time everything opens up and the gates are like open, then the stories are just much more easier to tell. It's easier to tell when people want to listen. Of course. So let's just get their attention first.
I mean, that's incredible. Thinking about it, it's almost like you're destined to be in the place, and in the space, even if you were eavesdropping like in buses. And I wonder what by BMW that was.
How I can identify the show. I think the person that was driving was Bra Eddie. If not Ubra Eddie, it was Nemza's brother, younger brother.
Was driving Mac?
No, the bus.
Oh, it must have been.
So when we got there, I remember you were there already. But you pulled up and I remember it was a white Beamer. If it wasn't a white Beamer, then it was an Audi.
Yeah, it's probably an Audi.
Probably an Audi, ne?
Yeah.
But I definitely have vivid memories of that day, dog. Because I was too young to even be in that space. But now that I think about it, I'm like, I'm in a Skwatta camp in their prime. that was right about the clap song.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's a long time, yeah.
That's a long time.
yeah. I mean, like it's like when you're supposed to be in the space. I always say that like dedication, commitment, passion are very instrumental in where you need to go. But time though is almost like the most important ingredient. Is it your time? But you can see that like through your journey, if you were listening to the stuff that you had and you were cringing, that also speaks a lot about the readiness of you also. Do you know what I mean? As a human being also. Because I don't want you to represent me if you're my child and you're not proud of who we are. You know?
Yes.
The universe doesn't want you to go out there and try to represent something that you literally are not sure of and you're cringing also. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So it's like you gotta find yourself, but while you're finding yourself, the universe will put you in circles for you to learn, experience, and you might even in the back of your head say, I'm actually going to do it better this way. You know what I mean? Maybe this should be the approach, you know.
Yes.
Maybe it won't work for me like this. Maybe it's going to work. Do you know what I mean? While someone else literally is not exposed to all the things you're exposed to and they trying to navigate and figure it out. So you've been getting the signs, you know, from early, or you're getting the signs from early that you need to be there. I mean, in the numbers of artists that approach us, you know, you also kind of like the most memorable because of your consistency and your drive, you know. I mean, I'll be honest and say I haven't listened to full projects yet because, you know, I'd hear one song, two songs, and because I get so much stuff, if there's one song that doesn't move me, I like, you know what I mean? You know, but if you can get me on two songs in sequence, maybe we'll dig, even if I'll be forgiving for the third, fourth song, you know what I mean? But like listening to what you have now, the LP, you know, just like listening to that, I think you've got a couple of songs there that I can feel like, okay, there's some work in this, you know, I just need to listen and just vibe with it, you know? I mean, so with this personal journey that you've gone through, what are you looking at? What are you looking at achieving? Where do you want to take this thing from Heidelberg, leaving with 50 Rand? What is going to be the full circle of success for you?
I think it for me, I want to get to a point where music is my life, you know. So it makes so much sense for it to be the center of my livelihood and my what puts food on the table. You know, like, you know, I've made some money with rap and it's scary. That's how I know that you know, like I've made some very skeptical money. I'm like, I'm making money over post. Like what's happening here? You know, that's how I know that this thing is real and I want to live through it, you know. But obviously not just music, but obviously just being a businessman in its entire you know, circumference, you know. Even now, I was gonna send a press release, but even now I just got a publishing deal with Sheer, you know, which is something that I would have dreamed about like 4 years ago, you know. 4 years ago I was like, man, these deals, you know. And all of a sudden when the universe just opens up and they come to you instead of you searching. When I got that email, I was like, in a pandemic, you know, good news in the pandemic is like very, you know, satisfying. So I was like, you know what, cool. This is what these are the moments that I'm living for, you know, getting the things that I've always wanted in life, you know, which is a long list, you know, and doesn't necessarily involve materialistic things. You know, it always involves things that, you know, have to do with achievements, you know, like winning my first award at the 011 Music Awards. That was a phenom for me, you know, because it kind of made me feel like, okay, if you can win this, then you can definitely win a summer, you know. If you can win this, it's possible, you know. And winning, you know, plenty other things that just made me realize that, okay, cool, you have a strong fan base, you know. Even the verse of the year campaign, I was so mad when I lost that. I mean, asking everyone that works with me, I was like, guys, how is it possible that I lost? Because every day I was campaigning. I hate losing. I just hate it with all my heart. So when I achieve things that I know are far within reach, you know, the big star feature, I'm literally living like the rap life now, you know. And I live it. I wake up in the morning and I check Sweetkid's rollout, and I'm the one that just makes sure that Sweetkid is ready for everything, you know. I send the press release, I make the phone calls, you know. I do everything that needs to be done for Sweetkid, you know. So that has taught me, even myself, to, okay, cool, you are a very smart human being, you know. You can run things, you can even run a company, you can run something that's way bigger than you, you know, if you just put your mind to it. So achieving all these things, man, it is the main goal for me, you know. I would love to win a summer, but I think a nomination means much more than just winning. It's a step. You get what I'm saying? For me, a nomination is who would have thought that this guy from Elatada would actually, you know, do such a thing? It's all about, you know, every time I go to the hood, the kids in the hood, they guys laugh me, look at me like I'm not a human being. Nah, Sweetkid. That's how I know it's real, because they also saying, Nami from fun on the Sweetkid. That's dope. You know, Nami, I wanna, you know, it's possible. You know, and now it's with the technology and everything is just much more closer. So I think achieving all of these things that I wanted in my heart, that I didn't even plan for, you know, that I know that my subconscious mind knows that I need to make $1 million, you know. But I'm not like telling myself that next week I'm gonna make $1 million. I know I'm gonna make $1 million someday. You know? I just have to just work and let it unfold for itself.
So when does the project drop?
19th of July. I think by the time 19th of July 2021. I'm excited for this because it's the first time I actually give out a project that I'm so proud of. Sounds dope. You know, I'm proud of myself, guys. Like, you have no idea how much creative sharpening it took for me to actually get to a point. Like, I realized when I was in studio with Touchline, when we were doing, I'm sure that song would have dropped by the time, if not, it's coming. We were doing a song, it's a big ass song that's gonna come out. It's titled Amasi, you know, and we were back and forth. We were just, you know, playing projects back and forth. And he was playing a song, and then he's like, "Yo, Touch is going in." I'm playing a song. He's like, "Oh, I know, I hear you, Dora Pega." You know, it's just a dope experience for me, especially as an artist, because I've never had. Every time I go in studio with an artist, they're always so insecure. Like, no, man, you should just hear the song when it drops, just like everyone else. You know, with me and him, we have a very solid relationship. So we were just, you know, TikToking the songs, and that's when I realized that, oh shit, you are deep though. Like you are deep, like deep. And I was like, okay, cool. It's time to release. It's time to let it go and let the people, you know, decide what they do with it, you know. But I'm proud. The 9 tracks that are just sounding smooth. I can't even find a favorite at this point. But I know the track that hits hard the most is Tunnel Vision, the track that I played first. You know, the world trying to take me down. Every time I play that song for people, somehow they even forget that I'm there. They detach me from the person that's singing the song. That's good. You know. So that's how I know that, okay, cool. At least it touches people. You know. And we move.
Alright, G. Yo, man, we look forward to the album, and I hope people experience this hunger,
100%.
And this desire. And my thing is that judge yourself by your drive, not by what you created. What you created is always going to be like a part. Once it's done, it's done. But judge yourself by your drive, by the fact that you won't run out, by the fact that you still need to run more laps, and if you thought that and if you looked at like your mixtapes and you look at yourself now, you'll probably look at this project also and go, yeah, in a few. I could have done that better, So judge yourself by the length of the race and not by the destination.
100%.
You know what I mean? That's it, my G.
Before we cut it off, I just want to ask you. This is a very important question that I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
I've seen you plenty of times, obviously, play my songs on live radio.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to know, what was your first aha moment of King Sweetkid? Because we met quite a lot of times. Through loopholes.
Yeah.
But the first time I heard you say my name, I was like, hey, this guy knows me.
Yeah.
After I think it was the tour we did for, where were we going? Oh, we were going far. That 6-hour drive that we did, I think we had Nate there. It was just a bunch of us. It was a campaign that we did for you. What place was this? Near the border of Lesotho or something like that.
Campaign you did for me?
Yes, we went all together. Remember we were supposed to cash out on my H1s and stuff like that, and we ended up going with the cabs, and then we cut off the people. Oh, you do a lot. This guy can't even remember what I'm talking about. But it was a bunch of us. And we were doing that tour, man. It was a tour, I remember. After that, we did the ABSA campaign, so we did quite a lot.
Me?
Yes, we did. We did a lot. In
Sorry, I'm like, yeah.
The ABSA campaign we did in Vets.
Yeah.
With Nadia Nakai.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so you see, I know for sure that we've met like so many times, and you called me by my name, and I'm like, when was like the first time you actually went, okay, cool, this guy he's only sending me emails, so I might as well know his name?
I can't put my finger on it, but but I think the fact that I would have known your name, that means I could have heard something that I like, Sometimes it's one song you like for a person, and like then this other song is okay, but it takes a lot for you to kind of get into a person. By the time we're on live radio, you're familiar, and when I'm reacting, I'm giving an honest reaction. Nothing is planned there. You know what I mean? It's like, for me to come out and do this, it's less your catalog, but more your it's less your catalog that has me here, but more your drive that has me here. 100%. You know what I mean? I'm yet to like really get into your catalog, and I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm looking forward to hearing the album, definitely from the songs I've just heard. But I always say to people, it's drive that literally comes first. Don't ask me to listen to your song and you're not doing anything for yourself. Don't ask me to listen to your song and if people don't listen, you're like, oh, fuck it. It's the drive. Drive gets people to where they need to go, hence the word drive. Songs are just an addition. For me, you use the right word. You are ready. That means that when the song comes, you're gonna be ready. You know what I mean? People will drive, the song comes, they still miss the opportunity because they're looking at that guy to make it happen for them.
Yes.
And they stuck on looking at people to make it happen. So you going. You know what I mean? So for me, I it's the Maya Angelou quote that I kind of remember, where like you remember how people make you feel, and for me, it's the drive that I feel. Or that I see, from you, that makes me be here, 100%. In the middle of my day,
Yeah, I get a lot of people that say that. It's like, yo, man, Slikour loves you, dog. Like, I always see you there. I'm like, guys, do you know how many people work at Slikour? You know, before I have to get through to him, I have to go through a lot of people, you know. And I've just been lucky enough to, you know, I probably have all the people that you work for on my contacts.
Yeah.
So every status I update, they see, you know. And I communicate with them one time when they have birthdays. I'm like, I'm there, like happy birthday, guys, you know.
But I mean, that's what you need to do. You know what I mean? Fortunately, also, it's not like, you know, the Slikour Life thing is a guy who's disconnected from what he does.
100%.
I listen to music is my life also. You know, that's why I had to build a music business. You know what I mean? And I have to grow a music business because I could get into other things, you know, with the money I've made. But like, music is what I believe in, but I need to live. So I need to figure out how do I turn this music thing into a business.
100%.
So I never leave it, you know, or I don't have to do something for survival. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outside music,
Outside of
you know. So that's just been the journey for me. And yeah, you know, and that's why I don't think much about I know through the fact that I'm doing it, I reach a lot more people, whether it's giving them work, whether it's just like temporary, permanent, whether it's just giving them a look, you know. We touch thousands of people just by creating 100%. A Slikour Life. I mean, so I can't remember everything I'm doing because I'm not taking stock. I'm focused on how do I do more.
I mean, like I said, bro, you gave me my biggest bag, you know, from this music industry.
Yes.
And I can imagine how many other guys have the same testament of this saying, yo, you know, I can't imagine that I got so much money off of, yo, can you just do a campaign for us, and then you know, we'll remunerate. And also guys like me, you know, guys who are really not in the forefront, you know. So I personally, you know, would love to appreciate your man, I wouldn't say your passion for music, but your love for it, you know, because if I'm looking at it, if I'm being honest, without Slikour Life, we don't have much, you know, because we do have something, but we don't have much, because at the end of the day, for someone to, there's people right now, if you give them a post on Slikour Life, that's life changing for them. You know, I know a lot of my peers that always ask me, yo, bro, give me the email, I just need an article, you know. And they get the article, they come to me running like, yo, dog, thank you so much, bro. They recognize, you know. To them it means so much, you know. And we might just take it lightly, you know, but they'd rather be on Slikour Life than you know, because Slikour Life is literally for the hip-hop culture, you know, because we don't have much that is for the hip-hop culture, you know. Everything that comes is not really, it's hard pushing hip-hop in a country that is really, really covered in house music, you know, and all its subgenres, you know. We end up having to even merge your pianos and the house in order to sound, you know, commercially pleasing, you know. So I'd really like to appreciate that, and for the fact that you are a hot man that's doing hot man things, you know. Like, that's very important to state out, because hot mans are not doing hot man things, you know. And it's pretty heavy, because you look at the people that we grew up listening to or looking at and going, okay, cool, bro, like you know, there's so much that you could do and eat from these young cats. Or not necessarily eat, but you could gain so much from them, other than you just wanting to be a gatekeeper, you know.
It's not as I mean, you know, from the outside people think it's that basic, and speaking for my peers or other guys, it's not as easy as you guys think it is.
100%.
There's a lot of ownership issues and versus ego issues, and young people always think that they gatekeep, but so most people that you consider gatekeepers don't even own the shit. They don't even make the final decision. They just got a great position. You know?
Okay, so it's like a president.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, you know what I mean. So, so speaking on behalf of my peers, sometimes they can't make certain decisions, but they don't want to say that. You know what I mean? Because it might make you feel like they're less irrelevant or less important because they have a status to keep. You know, fortunately, obviously, I've built Slikour on life because I'm the boss. You know, the alpha and omega. I make the rules. You know, and then I have a team that literally like that strengthens the rules and guide me also, you know, and give me and go, no, you know what I mean?
Yes,
so
yes.
that's so the team I have is more than just people that work for me. It's people who also guide me based on like the template I've kind of started developing and I'm building also.
100%.
You know, so you know you lead but you must be led. You know 100%. What I mean? And that's really how it goes. So, you know, I mean, I can't always sit here and be like, and people are bashing my peers, but it's not as easy as you guys think it is. And when you guys get into those positions, you'll see guys could be working for big channels that are owned by global they don't even know, and you expect them to do certain things for you, to sign things, but they don't have the power. They also are there because of their consistency to always turn certain revenues or KPIs. And with you they could be taking a risk, although they see what you have, but they could be taking the risk.
100%.
You know, with Slikour on Live, I can come and do an interview with King Sweetkid, whether it gets 10 views, 100 views, 1,000 views, 100,000 views. It's neither here nor there, you know, for me. But other people literally need to meet KPIs all the time.
True.
For me, I just want to be like having the story, the content, and following it as it goes, you know.
Yeah, that's a dope perspective, because obviously from the outside it's much more easier to say hey, you know. So you know, that's dope. Yeah, and that's it for the HD podcast. Thank you so much for pulling through. This means a lot. Not many people get to do this, you know. Shout out to Sound Studios for actually allowing us to, you know, do this. I gotta pay my rent. And Flatline Radio, this is gonna be available on Flatline Radio, and yeah, we are live shooting at Casting Cafe, guys. If you want to you know, book, pull through, and you know, it's a beautiful studio, you know, it's very cozy, warm. So yeah, let's do this one time.
Peace.